today we have a star-studded cast, so to speak. How you guys doing?
We're doing fine.
We have Mr. Wade Gordon and Mr. Cortez Washington, and we're here today to talk with them about their nonprofit organization. So Wade, I'm gonna let you kick this thing off. Tell us something about MADE. I like that. That's a nice acronym.
Right. MADE, it's our acronym. Just like you said, it stands for Men Making a Difference Every Day.
Okay.
And we are a nonprofit organization in the community of West Memphis, Arkansas. And we're a mentoring program. We mentor kids from ages 10 to 18. And we have a lot of services that we offer. I mean, we offer tutoring, we offer job interviewing, we offer fitness and nutrition. So those are some of the services that we do offer.
Okay.
And you know, we in the community, we doing our thing.
Well, y'all doing it, you're definitely doing it. And I know you're back here, transplant from the West Coast, right?
Well, I'm originally
You're originally from here, though.
Yeah, but I left after college and went to Los Angeles for about 8 years. Worked with the second largest workforce investment board, which are a lot of the services that we're offering with MADE. Those are the services that I work with at the Workforce Investment Board. Just to add on to what he was saying, you know, STD awareness, gang prevention.
Yes, okay.
You know, financial planning, resume workshops, and work experience for the youth as well are other services that we do offer.
Good deal, right. And that's the big umbrella. I like that. Right. You get them here, over in that corner over there, and that's good because, you know, really, you can never over-prepare our youth.
Right.
You know, and in actuality, the classroom in the school is giving them the academic side of it, but you know, to be complete and whole and to be successful, they need the other teachings, so to speak.
Right.
So what you mentioned and the same you mentioned, that's the key thing because I mean, now it's so competitive out here.
That's right.
And the system, they want the best of the best.
Yes.
You know, and what you guys are doing is you know, it's sharpening them and giving them that opportunity, giving the youth that opportunity to you know, be the best. And I have to salute you and take my hats off to you because I tell you what, you know, and I know, and you know that I know, it's hard work involved. It's a lot of work involved, and you're not in it for the money. You know, that's you know, you can't, because anytime you're doing anything of this nature, you're sacrificing, you're giving your time.
Exactly.
But it does bring in you guys know that gratification when you
Yes.
see a young man, a young lady, you know, taking a hold to it and becoming successful.
That's right.
Later on down the line. What motivated you to start that organization, your organization?
Well, you know, I am a native of West Memphis, and I've been living in the community practically my whole life.
Yeah.
And you know, growing up in the West Memphis community, you know, you see a lot of things that goes on in your community that you know that you want to fix. You know, they're like problems, you know, that's dealing with kids that you know that you really, you know, you take hold to and you just want to fix. You want to be a part of the solution.
Right.
And you know, I've been working and dealing with kids for over 11 years now. And I'm a former executive director over at Wonder City Boys and Girls Club, and I just feel like kids are my ministry. You know, I love helping people.
Right.
I'm also a case manager at Arkansas Counseling Associates, so I deal with kids every day. You know, I go into their homes, and it's just my passion. You know, so that just motivated me to want to have my own thing,
right?
And you know, and do it my way, and you know, and that's what motivated me to, you know, to start Men Making a Difference Every Day.
Well, sometimes that's what you have to do to create that effectiveness.
Right.
Is to do it your own way. It's not trying to be chesty and arrogant, but it takes that. I mean, and I can totally understand where you're coming from.
Right.
And it's similar with myself. And what motivated you to you know, get in the line of work? Or?
Well, this thing actually started 8 years ago.
Okay.
You know, Wade and I talked about this, the same identical plan we have now 8 years ago. And when I left, we start talking about it maybe 2 months before I left, which left no time to actually start things. So ironically, we continued talking about it the entire time I was in LA. And so when I actually moved back, I mean, the day we moved back, we actually hit the ground rolling.
Wow.
But to get to your question, what motivated me to, leave a great job, a great city. My wife also, picked up and moved as well, so she left her career as well.
Right.
God, God just put a spirit in me that in order to reach kids and to change kids, we're going to have to instill the fear of God in them, because if they have a conscience, if they have this attitude that they don't care about anything,
right.
We can do everything in our power, talk till we blue in the face, but it's not going to change anything if they don't have God. So that was my main motivation. See, MADE isn't about the services that we're offering. It's about giving these young boys and girls a feeling of who God is and who He can be in their life.
I understand.
Right.
And it's good. You guys are kind of slithering that in and out with what you do in the school district, as well. I mean, because they can't do that there, of course, but in away from that, in your subtle way, you can do it, make it happen, and bring that attention, bring that awareness to our youth. I do, Wade, I've been knowing you for years. I think I was riding over here, and I'm not trying to tell my age, but I remember I remember when you was 6 years old.
Man, that's a long time.
I was grown, but time, and it's good to see you evolve into the man you are today, And I know it hadn't been a bed of roses for you, by far, doing what you're doing, coming through the, in Westminster School District, going off the, UCA and being successful there. And time just went by like that. I mean, I said, man, I'm going to interview this guy, and I remember when he was 6 years old. But I mean, again, back on track to our subject. What are some of the, I know you guys are very heavily involved in the West Memphis area, in the communities, in the schools, but if any parent wants to get in touch with you guys, or student, how would they go about doing that?
Well, it's several ways they can go about doing it. My stationary, school that I'm there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, is over at East Junior High School.
Okay, right.
So any parent that needs to get in contact with me,
I see.
They definitely can come over to East Junior High School. We do have, of course, business cards.
Right.
We always out in the community, so we, passing our business cards out. We currently, we don't have a location yet. That's one of our.
But that'll come, and I tell you what, you're at a good location right at school, because that's where the kids are, and and being that you're there with them, and that's the best. That's what I'm saying. I know what you're saying as far as your business location, but you're on site.
Right.
That's great.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. We are. I do want to say this now. Men Making a Difference every day is a makeup of 5 guys.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
Yeah, myself, Mr. Washington here. We also have Mr. Lehman Brown.
Yes, a great
Mr.
kid.
Anthony Cunningham, and also Mr. Barry Burgess.
Okay, right.
So between the 5 of us, we all in the community, we active. So, any parent or child, that wants to be, any parent that's interested in Men Making a Difference every day, or kid that's interested, they can contact, any one of us 5 guys,
Right.
And also we have a Facebook page. So we get a lot of participants as far as parents that, they can go to MMADEWM for West Memphis.
Right.
So that's MADE WM on Facebook, and they can see all the stuff that we do in the community. We can add them, and we have a post about what we do. Everyone's that's a in our organization. Their pictures and their bios are on that page. So that's another way they can get
that's,
with us.
you know, this kind of media, you know, you know, 10, 20 years ago we didn't have this, but this is the thing now, and that's what everybody engages in, young and old. So you're absolutely right. What are some of, and you mentioned it, I caught the tail end of it. In November, something's coming up with you guys. What is it?
Yeah, we have a fundraiser going on for our organization, and it's a masquerade ball, and it'll be held at Southland Greyhound Park, and just like you said, it's November 17th. It'll be from 8 to 12. We have entertainment, we have food. It's gonna be nice.
Good deal.
It's gonna be a very upscale event, and we're excited about it.
Well, you guys are known for putting on good things. Now, I'm just gonna tell you, I already know that. You're known for that, and that's good. And it's always first class.
Right.
Exactly. That's the word we try to use when we do things.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I told someone earlier today, it doesn't cost no more to go first class. You just can't go as often.
Yeah,
it's true.
Right, but that's good, and that's about the quality of it. Because I see so many organizations come in and they start out with a strong, force as a strong force, and they just fizzle out. And the key thing, you know, I've learned over the years, even with through lead, is not doing the event, but it's actually doing a good event. You know, quality event, having a good quality, but also having the tenacity, the persistence to do it year after year after year after year. Anybody can put on an event once or twice and go on down the yellow brick road and not worry about it, but to be able to be consistent and persistent in all of your functions and all of your events, you know, I think, because I understand you all did recently, not long ago, the kind of celebrity basketball.
Right.
I was out of town. I was intending to come and support you guys, but I had to go out of town.
You gonna support us in playing or just come to support?
No, I'm not gonna play, man. I just had a hip replacement not long ago. I'm doing good. I'm cool. I'm a supporter. Right in those bleachers cheering when you dunk the ball.
No, but to go back to it, as far as fizzling out, we don't like to, you know, get into what other companies are doing because that's none of our business.
Right.
But when you have somebody that's passionate, like this guy's been working with kids for, you know, over 15 years. I've been working with children, you know, over 10 myself. So this is something that's not considered work to us. So
I understand.
There is no fizzling out. This is what we want to do.
And that's true. I like that. You know, you do it till you just to the end is until you, and that means you yourself as a person. I mean, you're gonna not every event is gonna be a bed of roses and like you want it, but that's no problem. That's not the issue, like you said.
Exactly.
That's not the issue. Was there anyone growing up, when you were growing up, that you admired or you mimicked after, or that, you know, in whatever, in just in general in life?
Most definitely. You know, my dad and my mom was divorced when I was about 14, so I didn't really have that father figure, but I did have people that, as they say, it takes a village. That's so true. You know, Elder Michael Knowlton, Coach Irvin Clay. Right. You know him. Those guys are like fathers to me, and they taught me, you know, how to be a man at a very young age. So
good deal.
Yeah.
What about you, Wade?
Yeah, you know, I was blessed to, you know, have my dad in my life.
Right.
Wade Gordon Sr., and he exemplified, I mean, every aspect of what a man should be like.
And that's what's the missing element now with our males, our black males. You know, that it's tough. That's very challenging. And you know, that you guys are speaking about that. You know, sometimes, and I can feel it myself, and you all can attest to this. Sometimes we're that father figure for those young men.
Exactly.
You know, and they watch us, what we do, what we drive, how we talk, how we dress. And you know, I know growing up, I wanted to, you know, I had somebody I admired from afar, and I would watch him and try to, you know, I said, man, that's how I'm gonna be. And that's how they do us. So that's why we have to be, you know, good at living examples. You know, in the public and when we think no one's watching, because someone's always watching.
Who's to say at 6 he wasn't watching you?
That's true. You
know what I'm saying? Like it's a revolving circle.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. That's true. Also, What are some of the businesses you all are partnered with or would potentially partner with?
Well, we looking to collaborate with other organizations.
Right.
I know you have a nonprofit
Yes.
lead that's in the community. We're willing to collaborate with any organization that's in the community that's doing positive things.
Right.
I mean, it's strength in numbers.
That's true.
So, I mean, with everybody unifying, we can get more accomplished. You know, we just looking, you know, to collaborate with anybody that's doing anything positive. There's no specific
Right.
organization, you know,
Right.
that I can just say, because like I said, we're just open for anybody that's, you know, that's doing positive things in the community.
Good deal. Good
Yeah.
deal.
I want to say we have did some things in the community. We did a neighborhood cleanup project. It was one of the first projects that we did.
I seen
You
that in
know,
the paper. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get people to, you know, take more pride in their community.
Absolutely.
That was our message, you know,
Absolutely.
from the neighborhood cleanup project. And I mean, you can kind of talk about some of the other things that we.
Well, just to go back to his original question, we are partnering with Mid-South Community College.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
can't remember it
Well,
all, so that's why I'm here to back him up.
I thought I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
So Mid-South Community College, they have a brother-to-brother mentoring
Right.
program grant that they have in, and they reached out to us.
Yeah.
You know, we
Right.
thank God for that opportunity.
Right.
And we actually start next week, I believe,
Okay.
with them.
Yeah.
Right.
And just, you know, like he said, we're open to other organizations. We had Nicole Williams, she's over the Devastating Divas.
Yes.
That's a dance group in West Memphis.
Right.
We actually had a teen summit for the girls last night, and her group actually attended that. So,
Right.
you know, like he said, it's strength in numbers.
That's
It's not
right.
about separating and who can get the most this. It's all
No,
about
it's
working
not.
together.
Right.
You know.
And that's something I think that has kind of crippled us as a race, as a people. It really has, because, you know, as I let my mind go back, you know, growing up, and it wasn't near the amount of resources that we have today that were available back then.
Right.
But people, you know, when they told you something, they stuck by their word. Whether it was businesses, whether it was churches, whether it was schools, whether it was just normal, everyday people down the street.
Right.
And I think we've lost that element kind of to a degree. You know, I'm not making a blanket statement for all churches, all schools. I'm not saying that. But I'm
Right.
talking about statistically wise.
Right.
We have, and I think we've got to go, we need to go back and become reacquainted with ourselves in that area.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree?
And we have to be reacquainted with the overall goal.
Right.
It's the kids.
Right.
It's not about your title. It's
That's
not
true.
about your salary. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about the kids.
It's right.
And, you know, and I feel like that's where we fall short, because we start putting self in it.
I agree.
You know.
Are you sure? Right. You got the truth there.
Yes.
You got the truth. Also, Wade, you know, and it's kind of, what are some of your hobbies that you enjoy? I know you work like me. You go sometimes from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
You know, day in and day out, and even on your off days, your phone's ringing. You going over here. You're doing this. You're doing that. But what are some of your hobbies outside of what you do?
You know what? I love to travel.
Okay, that's a good hobby.
Even though I rarely get a chance to.
Right.
I love to travel. You know, I love to go and see, you know, beautiful cities. I like to shop. I like to work out. You know, stay in some shape.
Right.
I'm a pretty competitive guy. So,
I can tell it.
I you know, everything I do, I try to do my best.
Right.
You know, it's what I've been taught from day one. But as far as hobbies, you know, I love to play basketball.
Right.
Oh, man.
Any game that you may want to challenge me in,
I got it. That's good. That's good. And that bleeds over into business. That bleeds over into what you're doing,
Right.
even in the organization. What about you, Cortez?
Some of my hobbies are, you know, I love food.
Do you?
I do. My wife is an excellent cook. You know, though she's only 30 years old, she has that old school mentality where I still get the 5, 6 full course meals a week. So we like to try different foods. I studied people in college, so I love to people watch. Like sometimes I can get in my car and go to the park and just sit in my car and just watch people for hours. That's something I like to do. I'm a fan of animals. One thing I studied in school was zoology, so I can sit there and watch the Nature Channel all weekend.
Is that right?
Yeah, so those are just some of my hobbies.
I might get you to help me out after this show is over, but I got an issue that I'm dealing with an animal. A reptile.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, you know, we need those little outlets, you know, because, you know, when you do it, we're dealing with the public, when you're dealing with the youth, you know, everyone comes to you with their own problems, you know, different, separate individual problems. And it's up to us as a people to be Nursianic, to do what we need to do and do what we can do. And sometimes doing that, you have to go even up and beyond, you know, what's required. But you guys are doing a super job, and I admire you and support you. And, you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to us doing a little, you know, collaborating together and some projects and programs and things like that. And that's what it takes, you know. That's what it takes. Being real and being, you know, me and making a difference. You know.
Exactly.
Also, being out, you know, when you were out there on the West Coast. Now I know you being out there, you saw the real deal. You saw what gangs really were and how they really operated. And now here, well, what I'm saying, you were more up close and personal,
right?
Because you know, being out there, that's a major thing. And what I find it to be, you know, we have kids here who are wannabes. And that's just as dangerous as the real deals, so to speak. But if you would, you know, shed some light on to the viewing audience about, you know, a parent that may want to, what some of the signs that a parent can look for in his daughter, in her daughter or son, whatever the case may be.
When I was in Los Angeles, I was working in Compton. Anyway, everybody knows Compton through rap songs and this and kind of that.
Right, I remember Easy.
Exactly. So it's kind of like this. When you're in New York or LA, for example, you can have a certain pair of jeans that are there. 5 years later, it's going to come to Arkansas. And then, you see what I'm saying? So out in Los Angeles, you have gangs, but most of the gangs, you don't hear about a lot of killing. You hear about a lot of gang activity, but it's more trying to make money and pull up the neighborhood.
Is that right?
Yeah, actually. When I was in Compton, I didn't hear about one killing the whole 8 years I was there. Now, back in 15, 20 years ago, different story.
Yeah, right.
Now you have guys here that is transitioned down this way. They're trying to, like you said, wannabe, prove themselves so bad that you got kids shooting other kids just over the simplest things when the gang actually don't even really stand for that.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so signs you can look for, you know, kids that need attention, kids that are facing peer pressure at school, because kids, they don't have mercy. You know, just for example, I'm in the Marion High School. Kids spend so much energy, as they call it, checking and with the negativity. They put so much energy into that instead of building one another up. That it can cause you to do certain things to fit in.
I see.
You know, and if you got 50 guys that's doing one thing and you got 2 guys that's trying to go the other way, eventually you're going to fold and go that way. Don't you agree?
I agree. You're right.
So that's what's going on. That's why it's so many kids in the small town of West Memphis and Marion that are joining gangs, because they're just trying to simply fit in. And once you get with those kids one-on-one, they're truly good guys.
I see.
But when they get in that crowd, they have to put that macho on.
Yeah. And what's one of the gratifying things that you've come across in helping or working with the youth, Wade?
Well, one of the most gratifying things that I have came across is when I see the progress that a kid has made. You know, when you're dealing with a kid for over a period of time, you know, say, you know, 8, 9 months, and when you first got that kid, you know, all the behavior issues they were having at home or at school, you know, and over an 8-month, 9-month period, you know, the behavior problems have starting to, you know, cease. Their grades are starting to be better in school. You know, that's gratifying. You feel like you really reaching that kid, and you starting to make a difference. You know, their respect level has went up. You know, and that's gratifying. I mean, that's the reason why, you know, we do this.
Right, I understand.
I mean, our ultimate goal is we want to change mindsets.
Yeah, you said it there.
I mean, that's our ultimate goal.
Right.
I mean, like you said, this is not for self-gratification, really. I mean, this is what we want to do. I mean, you know, and you know, that's very gratifying when you see that progress. I mean, you know, like you said, I've been working with kids for a long period of time. I have kids that I dealt with when they was, you know, 10 and 11, and now they 23 and 24.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, you know, there's some kids I see that's adults that didn't make, you know, the best decisions or the right choices.
Absolutely.
To put them in a good situation. So, you know, it'd be disappointing. You know, I see them and they still respectful. Hey, Mr. Gordon.
Right.
You know, I ask them questions, how you doing? And, you know, they're not doing so well. And you, at that moment, you still want to help them. You want to uplift them as much as you can. But, you know, it's an uphill battle. You know, you're going to have, you know, we kind of feel like we Superman.
Yeah,
you know, and we just going to save the world, but we know, you know, we're going to have situations that, you know, don't just turn out the way we hope it would, you know.
Right. Well, and you know, the key thing, we have to just keep it on, regardless how dark it gets, how gloomy it becomes. You know, we all would love to help all of them.
Right.
Have a 100% success rate.
That's right.
But realistically, we know that that's impossible. But to help those who really want to help themselves and keep the percentage level going up.
Right.
That's what we want to do, and that's what you guys, like I say, you all are doing a great job, and you know, keep up the good work. Regardless, I mean, you so to speak, you're out here. You've been dealing with the youth for years. However, you know, times change.
That's true.
Styles change. Language changes.
That's true.
And so personalities of kids change. They're different than they were 15, 20 years ago in school.
You know, I always wanted to just kind of go back to, you know, the question that you asked Mr. Washington about some of the signs that parents can kind of pay attention to.
Yes, sir.
You know, from my experience, some of the signs that I can say to parents to be aware of is when your child, when they start being very aggressive and disrespectful, talking back.
Right.
When they start wearing the same color all the time. When they start putting a lot of, you know, if you go in their bedroom and the parents see a lot of graffiti